Peace and blessings to the family. It is me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Lions Den Boston community. Shout out to the Louisiana All-American Sports Network. Shout out to M-Vision Photography and Video. And shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. This is the Tailgate Party, Season 1, Episode 15. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. You dig? All right, all right, all right. Welcome. First and foremost, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Happy holidays. Welcome to Coach 67 Sports TV, the Tailgate Party, Season 1, Episode 15, the 2025 Bayou Classic. Can Southern pull the upset? Welcome back to the Tailgate Party, your home for Southern University football. In episode 15, I break down my full analysis of the 52nd Annual Bayou Classic. I'll walk through the step-by-step strategy I would implement if I was interim coach Fred McNair. I'll also give my prediction for the 2025 Bayou Classic and share my thoughts on Southern University's head coaching search. Will Southern hire former NFL Hall of Famer, current Colorado running backs coach Marshall Faulk, former Southern assistant and current North Carolina Central head coach Trei Oliver, or another candidate? I'll tell you who I will hire and why. Can Southern bounce back and finish strong in the Bayou Classic? We break it all down. Episode 15 breakdown. What Southern must fix before the 2025 Bayou Classic. The strategy I would use to win the 52nd Annual Bayou Classic. My prediction for the 2025 Bayou Classic. The latest on FAMU and head coach James Colsey. Former Southern University head coach Terrence Graves. My thoughts on Southern University's coaching search and final hire, and also who I would have hired. We're building Jaguar Nation one subscriber at a time. And I'm just 40 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. Join a family. Join the Jaguar Nation, the HBCU family. Like the video. Drop your thoughts in the live chat or in the comment section. Who wins the Bayou Classic? Who should Southern have hired? Subscribe to Coach 67 Sports TV for weekly HBCU and Southern University content. Share the episode with Jaguar Nation. Share it in any Facebook groups. With someone that's a diehard member of Jaguar Nation like myself and yourself on your social media platforms. This is Season 1, Episode 15 of the Tailgate Party. That's my description. So let's get into the chat, the live chat. That's who we got in the building. First and foremost, salute to Motivation to Be a Millionaire. He said, salute, coach, chat, Jaguar Nation, and HBCU family. Salute, Motivation to Be a Millionaire. Oh. All right, he said, let's go and go Jags. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Relax and calm reign. He said, salute, coach, chat, Jaguar Nation, and HBCU family. Man, salute to you, relax and calm reign. Relax and calm reign. We want Trei Oliver, not Marshall Faulk. Unfortunately, relax and calm reign. It's too late for that one. It's too late for that one, fam. That ship has sailed. He said, I hope it's not too late. It is. Unfortunately, yeah, it's too late, buddy. Go Jags. Yes, sir. Your boy Jay Marshall. From the Brady Bunch, for those individuals that don't know the reference. He said, I'm glad we hired him. He should have been hired in 2021. Better late than never. Yeah, well, clearly somebody else in the chat disagrees with you, but I would have preferred it then. But I'll get into that. Kendrick Wicker, 8828 salute. He said it happened in good timing. Yep. Good timing, a guy's timing, one of the two. And Kendrick Wicker said, I'm ready for fall 26. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with Kendrick Wicker. 100% accurate Kendrick Wicker. I ain't ready for the season to be over, but I'm definitely supporting the team. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay said, "Amen to that." Yeah, you ain't lying. Big facts. Your boy Jay, the amount of eyes and media attention Southern has on them right now is unbelievable. Every major news outlet posted it all over ESPN and Fox Sports. Yeah. Kid who is country. Hey, coach, remember me? Salute to you. Actually, I don't. Got to refresh my memory. I mean, I've been a coach and a teacher for like 15 years while I'm an administrator now. But yeah, you gotta put something in the check. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick Wilkins said Trei Oliver signed extension with North Carolina Central. Well, some people were saying that they felt like he just was using Southern as leverage to get more money from North Carolina Central. So yeah, I could see that. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to you, your boy G. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy holidays, all of that good stuff. My brother Jared 11 Green. Salute to you. He got the strong emoji and the peace sign. And of course, I'm glad you came in the chat because, of course, it's not gonna be tomorrow Thanksgiving. But on Friday, we're gonna have the next edition of HBCU Fanatics. You know, we're gonna talk about the Soul Bowl, upcoming Florida Classic. We're gonna talk about all that good stuff. So be certain to come through Friday and check out HBCU Fanatics today. You did. Nathaniel Frank said the Bayou Classic will be close. Yeah, I hope Southern win a close game. But hey, your boy Jay said the players are basically playing to impress Faulk. So I believe they will go all out. I just don't trust these coaches. They know this is it for them. And I'm not gonna lie, your boy Jay, you must have beat me to it. I'm not gonna lie, your boy Jay, you be spot on, accurate with stuff. You know what I'm saying? You read my mind. I'm not even gonna lie to you before I even got to it, but I'm definitely gonna touch on it. You know what I'm saying? So going back to the description, in terms of breakdown topics. First of all, what must Southern fix before the Bayou Classic? This is what they need to fix. Southern has had a ridiculous amount of penalties. If they want to win the Bayou Classic on Saturday, they gotta cut way down on the penalties. That's one. Second, you cannot turn the ball over. You cannot lose the turnover battle by +2 or more. So you have to protect the ball. You have to not turn the ball over. You have to minimize your penalties. In addition to that, for whatever reason, whether we're talking about the Jackson State game, they gave up a big play. Jacoby and Morgan threw a huge touchdown at the end of the first half. The last game they played in for senior afternoon at A.W. Mumford Stadium, Ashton Strada almost threw a pick six to end the first half. So Southern starts to unravel at the end of the first half. And Southern is not a good second half team whatsoever. They fall apart in the second half. So these are like the biggest issues that Southern has. Southern is also, for a good portion of the season, struggled in all three phases of the game. And despite what people might say, I think Grambling is definitely the favorite in his 52nd annual Bayou Classic. So Southern University is going to need to play their absolute best game as far as I'm concerned. Play the best game they could possibly play. So it's going to be imperative that, one, you show a lot of discipline in terms of people like Kelby Givens like to anticipate the snap count. You can't jump off sides. You can't have all these holding penalties. And you just can't have just silly, foolish penalties. They're going to need to minimize the penalties. They're going to need to not turn the ball over at all. And you're just going to need to play a good, clean game. So in terms of, if I was interim head coach, Fred McNair, because let's keep it a buck, like your boy Jay pointed out, that's pretty much it at the end of the line for these coaches. So they know after that, like, it's a wrap. So what do they need to do? So I'm getting ready to go over. Like, if I was Southern, this would be my strategy for the the 52nd Annual Bayou Classic, the 2025 Bayou Classic. So the first thing I'm going to start with, I'm going to just keep it a buck. Ashton Strader is clearly the better passer, in my personal opinion. However, excuse me, he a better passer, but I'm not going to lie. He struggles to read coverage. And in addition to him struggling to read coverage, he struggles to read coverage, and he just makes like poor decisions. I hate talking about young men like this, but I'm not gonna lie, his quarterback IQ is like low at times in certain situations. It's like from a situational football standpoint, it's like, come on, man, like almost throwing a pick six against Texas Southern in the first half. Like, man, you cannot throw a speed out late. You can't throw it late. And I'm not gonna lie, he clearly a better passer between himself and Cameron McCoy. But at this point, I'm not gonna lie. How I'm gonna say this politely. I'm just kind of done with him in terms of just being the full-time starting quarterback. At one point I thought he was light years better than Cameron McCoy, but is at a point now that kind of is a wash, truthfully speaking. Ashton Strader, he's clearly the better passer. At times he struggles to read coverage. In many instances, instead of him going to the receiver side with one-on-one coverage, you like to throw the opposite side at times. I don't think they give him enough motion. It's a lot that kind of could be better, you know what I'm saying? So that's first and foremost. Secondly, I mean, we know that first, like I said, we know Southern turned the ball over too much at times. Now, he didn't have all three turnovers. Cameron McCoy fumbled once. It was a fluke kick right off the face mask. Kendrick Wicker, he said better pass out. You talking about Ashton Strader? Ashton Strader is a better passer, but he can't read coverage, and his football IQ is low. But Kendrick Wicker, I'm not gonna lie, everybody entitled to their own opinion. Yeah, to me, Ashton Strader is a better passer. Now, like I said, he can't read coverage. He can't read coverage. He makes poor decisions, but I think he's a better passer than Cameron McCoy. But Cameron McCoy is clearly a better athlete. There's no two ways about it. That's my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? So, Southern, like I said, again, they're going to need to minimize the penalties, and they're going to need to not turn the ball over. We know they're a bad second-half team, and we know defensively they struggle. This is the worst Southern University defensive team I've seen from a defensive standpoint. This is the worst defense I can ever remember seeing in Southern. So I would start Cameron McCoy, truthfully speaking. And my motto would be just try to line up and punch Grambling in the mouth. So first play from scrimmage would be a design run for Cameron McCoy. And it'll be a design run. And then after that, after I get a design run, I'm gonna try to play with two tight ends to start out. So Dupree Fuller, and I'm just going with two tight ends. Two tight ends, two wide receivers. Just try to line them, punch them in the mouth. I'm definitely gonna try to get Trei Oliver 20 touches from scrimmage. Whether we mix in a few passes or not, I know he's coming off the rib injury, but I'm definitely gonna try to get Trei Oliver 20 touches, and I'm gonna you're gonna get a nice dose of Barry Remo also. So we're just gonna try to run the ball. We're just gonna try to punch Grambling in the mouth. Then after that, in the passing game, some people say it's Kobe Bryant, other people say it's Malachi Jackson. If you start, if Darren Morris starts, I'm definitely trying to get him touches. Whether it's the little slant, whether it's like a bubble screen, a tunnel screen, something him and Dupree Fuller. I won't get them involved early in the game. So when we do pass the ball, those are two guys I'm trying to get it to. But other than that, I'm trying to just play ground and pound. I'm trying to line up. I'm trying to punch Grambling in the mouth. I'm trying to be aggressive. And I'm trying to get the running game going early. Then after a certain point, if Strada's available to play, if Cameron McCoy is struggling, I wouldn't be. I mean, from what I understood, he got hurt against Texas Southern. I don't know if he's available. But truthfully speaking, if it was me, I would just stick with Cameron McCoy. I would try to stretch the field vertically after we really tried to establish the run game, just to kind of loosen Grambling's defense up. And then we just go back to pounding and punching them in the mouth and just have a balanced attack. But more than anything, my primary strategy would be just to try to get Cameron McCoy involved early in terms of the running game. Then after I get him involved early, I'm trying to give you a steady diet of Trey Holly and Barry Remo. And then after that point, I would try to stretch the defense vertically. And then in the passing game, I'm trying to get the ball. I'm trying to make a concerted effort to get the ball to Dupree Fuller and Darren Morris. And then after that, if I need to bring Ashton Strada in just to kind of give him the defense a different look, that's what I'm doing. But other than that, I'm trying to play ball control offense, trying to dominate time of possession. And in addition to that, I'm trying to keep my defense on the sideline as much as possible because we know Southern has struggled defensively the entire season. That would be my strategy. Honestly, I know Grambling is the favorite, but I'm going to keep it a buck. People might say I'm wrong. This Grambling team does not move me. I'm not overwhelmingly impressed by them. They really don't move me. And at the end of the day, I mean, Grambling fans talking like Grambling like 28-point favorites. Dude, y'all cheated to beat a Division II school. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people might think Kentucky State would beat Southern, and I wouldn't even deny that. But act like Grambling no world beaters. Yeah, they did upset Jackson State, but that don't move me either to keep it a buck. So at the end of the day, despite what people may think, I think it's a winnable game for Southern. But like your boy Jay pointed out in the comment section, like especially like from the Alcorn State game moving forward, at times I kind of feel like the coaching staff is kind of milled it in. And we know they're not going to be back next year, so it kind of is what it is. But I think if Southern wins the turnover battle by +2 or more, if Southern minimizes the penalties, the defense is decent and has a pulse, and they don't give up a lot of yards in a running game, and they don't give up a lot of big plays. A couple things they've been synonymous for doing. Truthfully speaking, I think it's a winnable game, but Southern has not shown the entire season they could do all of these things, not make stupid mistakes, not get a ridiculous amount of penalties, not lose the turnover battle, play decent defense, not fall apart at the end of the first half, not struggle in the second half. All of these things Southern has done the entire season in terms of having a lot of penalties, turning the ball over, playing terrible defense, falling apart at the end of the first half. And in addition to that, they've also struggled mightily in the second half. Even the games that were like close, the opposing team, if Southern was up, they came back to win in the second half, like Texas Southern, like FAMU. They led both of those games. And even the closer games like Alabama State, Jackson State, those teams pulled away from Southern in the second half. So at the end of the day, Southern got to fix all of those things. These are all the major issues that Southern has had during the course of the season. And, like y'all pointed out in the comment section, in the live stream chat, I just can't wait for this season to be over. I'm not even going to lie. Your boy Jay said, just run Remo and Holly all day and pray for the best. Yeah, essentially, you kind of saying what I'm saying, but I would implement Cameron McCoy into that running game. Keep it up, fam. Salute to you. He said, short, the solution is not to listen to the alums or the administration. The solution is always to listen and go with the smart decision makers who know how to make great business decisions. Your boy Jay said this is the most media attention we have gotten in years. I'm glad finally moved past the old hiring cycle we have been in for the last 10 years. Keep it up, fam. Keep it up, fam. Say, the link is close together, so they can't click on it to go to Facebook. All right. Your boy Jay said, even if he is healthy, I wouldn't even let him see the field. He will throw Grambling at least 3 picks. And I'm not going to lie. The issue I had was the pick he threw at the end of the first half against Texas Southern. It's like, man, that's a stupid throw. Like, you cannot make that. Instead of being up by 7 at halftime, if you don't make a poor decision there, you're up by 14. And then once you get the ball in scoring position, since you threw the pick at the end of the first half, Fred McNair does not trust you to make the right decision. So he turns around and hands the ball off to Barry Remo. And then they set up for 3. Now you up by 10. Then Texas Southern scores. Then the kicker kicks the ball off of Southern's middle up man, kicked it off his face mask, and the ball bounced right back to him. They score again. Now they have the lead. Then they score again. Southern comes back and scores. When they score, Fred McNair calls the timeout, not realizing, hey, we're down by 5. We got to go for 2. You call a timeout, you drop a 2-point conversion play, and you don't convert. Your defense holds, but your offense don't get the ball back until 14 seconds left in the game. So at the end of the day, it's like, hey, EA said, Coach, did Trei Oliver interview for the Southern head coaching job? Yes, he did. He did. Your boy Jay said he did interview, but he signed an extension with North Carolina Central this morning. And truthfully speaking, I think, well, I'm going to address that a little bit. Your boy Jay said probably the last time for a while Grambling will be favored to beat us, so they better enjoy LOL. Faulk already flipping players to come here. Yeah, I could imagine. Because, he got to hit the ground running from a recruit standpoint. There's no 2 ways about it. He got to hit the ground running, your boy Jay. Like, he got to get the coaching staff, and they got to get the recruit. Recruit. Get his coaching staff first, and then they got to recruit. Keep it up, fam. Say common sense will always win. And I talked about the plan of having NFL Hall of Fame coaches and Swackett, MEAC for each team when Deion was first hired and what impact that would have for the HBCU. EA said he played that right. Yeah, I think to a certain degree he might have been. See, when I said I wanted him and Chennis Berry first and second, people don't realize that's the respective schools they went to, just like T.C. Taylor went to Jackson State. So it was always going to be kind of hard to lure them away from their respective schools. But I'm going to get into, my thoughts on that whole situation. But salute to EA. He did play it right in terms of leveraging the 2 schools up against each other. Unlike the way Fred McNair tried to leverage Texas Southern and Alcorn State against each other, but that's another story. Salute to Joseph Davis. He said, "What's up, Coach 7 Sports TV? Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to your fam." Your boy Jay said Faulk already has big name people pleading big money to the program. Southern football will look completely different. Hopefully they get different uniforms too, your boy Jay. Just to kind of switch it up and kind of help rebuild your brain, because I'm not gonna even lie, keep it a buck. The way you lose in hell, I wouldn't want. I'll get rid of all them damn uniforms. But he said we'll look completely different for the better come next season. Keep it up, fam. Football as a whole, this could be a possibility still only if these HBCUs are willing to work together and do group economics. That will bring it Jerry Rice back to Valley, because he want nothing to do. Well, I'm not gonna lie, keep it up, fam. Talking to my brother, Big Joseph Townsend. Speaking of Joseph Townsend, for all y'all individuals that like to drink whiskey, bourbon, go to Old Hillside Bourbon Company. Old Hillside Bourbon Company. Salute to my brother Joseph Townsend. But he was saying that, he from the Bay Area, Big Joe. He played ball at Louisville. He done had some, I guess, interactions with Jerry Rice, whatever. He said, man, keep it a buck at this point. Jerry just chilling. I don't think Jerry would be. I'm not saying we don't know what Jerry contributes behind the scenes or whatever, or what's his involvement with Valley. But in terms of like him being a head coach there, he not interested. He said Jerry Rice just chilling here, dig. So I don't think that's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Nathaniel Frank, he said 31-27 Southern University. I'm not even mad at that. Nathaniel Frank. I think it's gonna be a close game, to be honest with you. Keep it up, fam. He said with them, HBCU athletics, because of the mindset mentality, which is all messed up. It's a crab's mentality until that's over. With it all always be a struggle. HBCUs need to work together and do. All right. Joseph Davis said, if there's any hope, there is a history in the BC of bad SU teams beating very good Grambling teams. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like the last two classics I didn't go to. I didn't go to the classic in 2005 because senior passed that season. So I didn't go to no games that year. That was the only season I didn't go to games. And then prior to that, I think the last classic I didn't go to was 90, I think 89 and 9. Whatever year, Southern had a bad year that year. And I didn't go. So I'm like, yeah, Grambling was pretty good that year. And I didn't go to the classic. And I kid you not, Joseph David, Grambling played decent, but Southern played great. Southern won that game. That was a bad Southern team. After that year, until senior pass, I went to the Bayou Classic every year after that. So the years that I don't go, I'm like, oh yeah, Southern gonna get smacked. Southern find a way to win. So I'm definitely going Saturday. I don't care what nobody say. Your boy Jay said, my heart tells me 24-20 Southern, but my mind tells me 28-10 Grambling, because I don't trust the coaches. They haven't changed one thing defensively all year. I'm not gonna lie. That's my biggest concern, your boy Jay. I believe the players gonna go out there and lay it all on the line and play hard. But like I said, especially in that game against Alcorn and Lorman, I felt like the coaching staff let the players down, in my personal opinion, because it's like, man, I didn't see no adjustments. I mean, I was heated at that game. You know what I'm saying? Keep it up, fam. Say group economics, but the pride and ego have to go. Once that happens, there's a new mentality switch, and better decisions will be made over emotions based on how they feel versus what will produce the greatest results possible. Yeah, I agree with you. Keep it up, fam. Like, I'm not gonna lie, not just in the HBCU realm, keep it up, fam, but I think black people need to practice like just group economics in general. Just to kind of give you an example, like for many years I was a head coach at Capital Middle School. And if you look at the right next to the library, diagonally across from the school, you got a whole shopping center in that area, and now one black-owned business in it, in a little shopping center. So, how many neighborhoods are looking and see black neighborhoods, but all of the businesses are non-black? And not only that, in many instances, black people don't stick together. We need to practice group economics, and we need to stick together as a people. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick Wicker, 8828. He said Colorado players can easily transfer. Yeah, I agree with you. But I mean, you got to be selective about it. Just thinking you could keep Trei Holly, and we just gonna spitball a number. Just say you could bring, I don't know, maybe 32 players from Colorado and figure they're gonna come to Southern and start, and you're gonna like instantly compete for a SWAC championship. Like, it does not guarantee you that you're gonna have a good. Not only would you not compete for a SWAC championship, in my opinion, I don't think that makes you a good team, because just because a player is playing on a higher level and they come down a level, just looking at this season, Mike Franklin didn't work out at all. I'm not picking on him. I'm just using him as an example. So just because a player comes from a FBS program down to the SWAC, it does not mean like it's going to translate into instant success or immediate success. Like players like Michael Hayes, that transferred from like LSU. Like, in many instances, when players come from SBS schools, it doesn't mean that they're going to automatically fit in HBCU culture. And not only that, sometimes they come with baggage. They might be lazy. They might have bad attitudes. They might think it's sweet. It's easy on a lower level. So all of these things kind of factor into why, you just can't grab players from the higher levels and just plug and play. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure he's going to bring some players with him, players that he already have a rapport with and that he think, can help the team. But at the end of the day, you just can't bring a ridiculous amount of Colorado players to Southern and think it's going to work out. I don't think it's that easy, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay say, Coach, you're going live on the Monday after the Faulk press conference. That's the plan. That's the plan for that edition of the Tailgate Party, episode 16. Kendrick Wicker say, yeah, they should get a Nike deal. Hopefully. They need some kind of deal, some kind of brand deal, some kind of sponsorships, that type of thing. So I'm almost certain from a partnership standpoint, they bringing in some stuff, behind him, Your boy Jay say Faulk has some crazy connections. I won't be surprised if Southern leaves Under Armour and goes to Nike or Jordan. Faulk has crazy pull. All right. EA, he said, Coach, I know you definitely won't be saying happy Thanksgiving to anyone based on the true meaning. Salute to you, bro. Man, salute to you. Yeah, I'm woke too, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, a lot of people that are like extremely militant and pro-black, whatever phrase, term you want to use, EA, in some instances, they just, I don't know. I don't know how to say it or articulate it. But many instances, like people I know like that, oh man, why you celebrate the white man holiday, this, that, and the third? I'm like, dude, like, you got a job, you this, you that. So, like, when I look at holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, I don't look at it for what it's intended for. Me, I look at it more as a time to spend time with family. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Alex is cutting up tonight. I had a little sinus infection earlier this week, but I got a shot. I'm doing a little bit better. Not a little bit. I'm doing a lot better. But the nose still running, though. I don't know what it is, but nose running at night. Your boy just said, I've seen how bad these players want this. You can see how emotional it makes them. The coach is just standing on the sideline, mean mugging. Yeah, hey, like Andrew Crook said, at this point, you can let Jalen Woods be the head coach for the Bayou Classic. Yeah, I feel you on that. Joseph Davis said, Gorilla and Juvenile to perform at the Bayou Classic halftime. All right, that's what's up. Your boy Jay said Colorado fans are saying the only coach they wanted to keep next year was Faulk, but most of them are happy for him. All right, I'm glad they're happy for him. Your boy Jay said apparently Faulk is bringing in a big OC and DC. Both will be making close to 200K. Woo! Faulk has full financial support and the school of the school and from boosters. All right. All right. If y'all wondering what happened, I had to pause, mute it for a minute. My nose started to run like crazy. So I didn't want y'all to hear that during the live stream. All right. So let's move to the next thing. In terms of the topics. So my prediction for the Bayou Classic. I think it's gonna be a close game, truthfully speaking, despite what people might say. Uh, you know, Ben Y in a world beater to me. I think he a good, serviceable backup quarterback. Uh, but I think if Southern play their best game, which they haven't played all season, and I mean, Southern defensively that's my biggest concern. But besides the defense, the coaches like making proper adjustments and having a good strategy and game plan going into the game. I think they need to put their best foot forward because, truthfully speaking, you know, and I hope EA is still in the chat. I'm gonna talk about the James Cozy situation. I'm talking about Terrence Graves. That's another story. So my prediction for the Bayou Classic, I'm gonna say 21-20 in favor of Grambling. I think Grambling win a close game. If Southern defense is lousy and Southern does not do all the things I say they should do in terms of minimizing the penalties, uh, not turning the football over, not falling apart at the end of the first half, not withering away in the second half, Southern has a chance to win it. But truthfully speaking, I don't see those things happening. And I think for Southern to win, Southern got to have a huge lead going into the second half. And, honestly, I honestly believe Southern could win, but the coaching staff got to step it up, and they got to kind of, compensate for the deficiencies the team has. But that's another story for another day. That's the reason why you got another. You're gonna have another coach. Holly for 28 carries, 235 yards. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Joseph David. Trei Holly got to get at least 20 touches. And the thing about it is, the issue I've been having is, even when you had him on a snap restriction, if you know he only gonna touch the ball a certain amount of times, it's like they went from not using him enough early in the season till prior to the Texas Southern game, running him in the ground. I think that's really what got him hurt. So at the end of the day, you got to use him, but you got to use him in the right spot. So I say get him 20 carries, maybe 25 total touches. I'll mix in some Barry Remos, some Amarian Asbury, or whatever. And more than anything, I'm not gonna lie, hey, I'm trying to show out because, truthfully speaking, you got another coaching staff coming in. Hey, you might not make it, so you want to put your best foot forward. Your boy Jay said Faulk eyes are going to get big when he sees Holly run. I'm not gonna lie, I done said this so many times. Southern University has had some great running backs like Lenore Tillery III, Melvin Williams Jr., Lindsey Scott Sr., Steve Warford, Jermaine Sharp, Victor Ike, you know, just so many cats come through Southern. My guy Kendrick Rhymes, late Steele Adams, Lonnie Nicholas. I mean, I could just kind of go down the line. LaShawn Kenny Peebles. Southern University has some great running backs, and Trei Holly doesn't have that level of production of a Lenard Tillery, Steve Warford, Melvin Williams Jr., Lindsey Scott Sr. The 1 year he started, the first Southern University running back, have 1,000 yards in a long time when Pete Richardson came. But from a talent standpoint, I hate to say it. No, actually, I ain't gonna say I hate to say it. Trei Holly is not from a production standpoint, but strictly from a talent standpoint, he's the best best of the university running back I've seen from a talent standpoint. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not like, saying like Lenard Tillery III wasn't a great back, or Melvin Williams Jr., Lindsey Scott Sr., Victor Ike, Steve Warford, Jermaine Sharp, or Lonnie Nicholas. I'm not saying LaShawn Kenny Peebles. I'm not saying these guys weren't great backs, but I'm saying from a talent standpoint, even as good as somebody like Jermaine Sharp was, or Lenard Tillery, or Melvin Williams, Trei Holly is just that dude. In fact, realistically, I think Trei Holly is what everybody says Steve Warford was supposed to be. Don't get me wrong. Steve Warford was a good back, but I felt like Steve Warford was overhyped. All the stuff they said about Steve Warford, I feel like Trei Holly is all of that. You know what I'm saying? Ronald Scott, yeah. So, I mean, Southern University had some great backs over the years, like Kimbrough. They done had a lot of cats. So, at the end of the day, Southern University has had some great backs, but strictly from a talent standpoint, not necessarily from a production standpoint. Trei Hollis has been the best one I've seen. It would be interesting to see what Marshall Faulk and his staff can do with him, next season. If the law stay the same, he's still at Southern. And the way your boy Jay talking, look like he gonna be at Southern. So hey, I'm looking forward to see what they could do with him. You know what I'm saying? EA say, I'm hearing the DB coach from UAB, former Bama State DC, coming to be the new DC. Yeah, I think they say Ryan Clark. That's what I heard. So yeah, I think that's kind of accurate. All right, so getting into the next topic. Somebody showed me this on social media, and they basically was saying that former Southern University head coach Terrence Graves was, I ain't gonna say he was upset, but he was like basically saying, that like haters been hating on him, trying to like assassinate his character, this, that, and the third. And I guess he kind of feel like that like ruined his chances to get the coaching job at Winston-Salem State. Honestly and truthfully, from everything I've heard people talk about Terrence Graves, they all say he's a nice guy. Like, I know multiple people that say, man, hey, this guy Terrence Graves, he's a real nice guy. So I don't think that people are assassinating his character. Truthfully speaking, not to put him down, but I'm just keeping it buck. He wasn't a good coach. From an X and O standpoint, he wasn't a good coach. From a strategy standpoint, he wasn't a good coach. Mark Frederick was a terrible offensive coordinator, and he couldn't recruit. So I don't think that's assassinating his character. I think that's just being honest. So if Southern fans being honest is what caused him not to get a coaching job at Winston-Salem State, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But truthfully speaking, he just wasn't a good coach. I don't think people have been assassinating his character. I think they've just been being honest and keeping it a buck. You know what I'm saying? And next, we got the Florida Classic coming up. Shout out to EA. And EA is right. The last video I did, I talked about Coach James Colsey. I didn't stop, even when I talked about Marshall Faulk. When I talked about James Colsey, you got to realize, EA, I'm not saying this is fact. I'm just saying these are the rumors, like in the HBCU streets. So it's not official. So let me be clear. Even when I said, hey, Marshall Faulk, Southern is going to hire Marshall Faulk, I said allegedly. And the same thing, allegedly, FAMU is talking about parting ways with James Coles at the end of the season. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was gonna make it to next season. So I guess, the rumor has changed. Because at one point they saying he was gonna make it. So basically that's what they're saying, Joseph David. Joseph Davis said Cozy going after Saturday. That's what they've been saying. So I understand it's a rumor, but EA to a certain degree where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not saying they're gonna get rid of him. That's kind of been a rumor in the rumor mill. But to me, if they do get rid of him, to me, there's only two real candidates I would want. My top candidate, if I'm FAMU, would be Quinn Gray. My number 2 candidate would be Teddy Bridgewater. That's 1 and 2. That's it. I wouldn't say that'd be the only 2 coaches I would interview, but that would be the 2 guys at the top of my list if I'm FAMU. You know what I'm saying? Your boy JC, Doolin and Graves really tried to ruin this program. I ain't gonna lie, your boy Jay. I ain't gonna say they tried to ruin it, but the one thing about Dooley, he couldn't evaluate quarterback talent nor develop it, but he could recruit, but he couldn't coach. So Dooley could recruit, and he couldn't evaluate quarterback talent nor develop him, and he couldn't coach, but he could recruit. Terrence Graves couldn't do either one. He couldn't recruit and he couldn't coach. So that was like a bad combination, you know what I'm saying? Jordan Hatton, 5642, salute to you. He said, I heard this is a good chance that he's going after Saturday too. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that multiple times on X and other social media platforms. So yeah. So I heard the same thing too, you know what I'm saying? EA said Cozy use a true but non-factor in a poor progression of his teams over the past 2 years, has lost every winning over the past 5 years. And I'm not gonna lie, a couple people like, man, coach, he could coach. But I'm like, Willie Simmons left the program in a good place. And FAMU is not as good, since Willie Simmons has left and James Coles has taken over the program. If you compare what T.C. Taylor did with Jackson State once Deion Sanders left, yeah, Deion Sanders won 2 SWAC championships, but they didn't win 2 Celebration Bowls. They lost to South Carolina State 1 year, and the next year they lost to North Carolina Central, right? So that's what happened. But James Colsey, he took over the program from Willie Simmons, and they went in the opposite direction. So, and I told a story about when they came to AW and they had Willie Simmons and Jeremy Musa, and the chicks from New Orleans and Baton Rouge that went to FAMU, one of them said she was a swimmer. If she could hear me, salute to her. But I'm like, y'all complaining, y'all gonna win the SWAC championship this year. I told her that night, like, barring injury, if Jeremy Musa could stay healthy, y'all gonna win the SWAC championship. And they did. And they were complaining. And I'm like, look, hey, I'll trade you Eric Dooley and Harold Blood right now, this second. And she was like, nah, we good. And I'm like, all right, then what y'all complaining for? Like the whole row of chicks behind me that went to FAMU that's from Baton Rouge and New Orleans. They were all friends. So at the end of the night, I'm like, Ben, what you complaining about? Like, you got rich people problems, you complaining. And the crazy thing about it is, that night and that year, like, FAMU was the team to beat in black college football. And James Colsey took over after Willie Simmons left to be the running backs coach at what it was, Duke. And then after that, now he the head coach at FIU. But truthfully speaking, like, so if they weren't happy with Willie Simmons and Jeremy Musa that night, I know they are livid at James Colsey. So that's what I'm saying. At this point, yeah, I think it's definitely it's definitely a strong possibility that James Cozy not gonna make it the next season. Joseph Davis say, SCG question: can you see PV beating Jackson State in the vet? I think it's gonna be a close game, but I honestly believe Jackson State is gonna win. I'll say 35-31, 34-38, something like that. But I think a lot of people sleeping on Prairie View. Prairie View is a good defensive team. They're fundamentally sound. Really, I hate to say it like this. Prairie View is the opposite of Southern. Southern is terribly defensively. Prairie View is good and very fundamentally sound defensively. Southern turns the ball over. They are highly penalized. They make a lot of mistakes. Prairie View does not make a lot of mistakes. They're fundamentally sound. They're a very basic team, but they're extremely effective. Extremely effective. So Prairie View is very effective. I think, the good running game Prairie View got, I think Jackson State can, if they could shut that down, I'm not gonna lie, but even the quarterback player Prairie View. Like Prairie View is a solid quarterback. They have a good running game. Like Prairie View is very, very, very solid team. So for Jackson State fans talking about, we're going to beat them by 40. We're going to beat them by 40. We're going to beat them by 40. Man, hey, y'all better pump y'all brakes. Prairie View is not going to come to the vet to lay down. We're going to go full depth analysis on Friday. HBCU Fanatics. Y'all be certain to come over to my brother Jared 11 Green channel for the HBCU Fanatics. EA said, I will say this, we will need a come to Jesus meeting with administration concerning it, admission standards for athletes, which is highest in all of the SWAC and hurting us getting dog athletes 3.0 GPA. Woo! But you got to realize, EA, FAMU is an academic school. So if Willie Simmons was meeting all those academic requirements, like how was he able to succeed and James Cozy struggling? You bring up a very valid point, but the people I know personally that went to FAMU, I'm not gonna lie, EA, the two people I know that went to FAMU are smart individuals. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they don't have smart individuals that went to other SWAC schools, but I'm just saying, these are two smart individuals I knew that went to FAMU. So I could see that academic requirement being a big struggle, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think you bring up a valid point. It is a very, very, very valid point. So next topic, we talked about James Coles, we talked strategy. A Marshall Faulk versus Teddy Bridgewater SU versus FAMU game would be a classic. Yeah, hopefully Southern could eventually get back to beating FAMU. Man, FAMU, hell, if Southern couldn't beat FAMU this year, I'm like, damn, man, when y'all gonna beat them? But that's another story, you know what I'm saying? Of course, the last thing, it's pretty much official, I ain't gonna say it's official, but look like it's pretty much official. Southern is gonna officially hire Marshall Faulk probably after the Monday after the Bayou Classic. At this point, everybody talking about it. Salute to my brother C. Wells, Swag Talk. Salute to him. He touched on it. Reggie Flood, BJ Jones, Scotty, off script salute to him. Met him last year at homecoming when Southern beat Alcorn State. So for the most part, it's pretty much official. Pretty much official. It's not official, but it's just about official. It ain't official until the Monday after the Bayou Classic when they trot out Marshall Faulk for the press conference. But, ESA really wasn't, which also explains us on level 1 infractions this year. Woo! I'm not gonna lie. You can't have APR issues. You can't have APR issues, EA. So having those APR issues, from what I'm understanding, that's the reason why Bethune held on to their coach, because he fixed a lot of APR issues Bethune had. So people don't realize that, people that was talking about, oh man, guess what? Bethune should have kept Ed Reed, man. Hey, if you got a coach that can fix all your APR issues, hey, it might be worth holding on to, because that's one thing people don't realize with Dawson Odoms. Dawson Odoms, not only did he win a SWAC championship in 2013, a lot of those players were brought in by Stump Mitchell, but Southern was having APR issues at that time too. So for him to win, and the only team he really couldn't beat to get over the hump was Alcorn State, even with the APR issues. Dawson Odoms did a good job at Southern. So, but on to the last topic. Yes, Southern is going to official hire Marshall Faulk. And, I'm not going to lie, like, I know your boy Jay, and everybody on my side of things in my chat has been positive. But if you go to other SWAC content creators and other HBCU content creators, especially like you go over the Scotty channel and just all over social media, all the Jaguar Nation is not happy with the Marshall Faulk hire. Like, people basically were saying that it is a risky proposition from the standpoint of, yes, Marshall Faulk is a NFL Hall of Famer. He's the running backs coach at Colorado University under Deion Sanders, but he's not a proven head coach. And, many people felt like that Southern really had a chance and opportunity to hire Trei Oliver. $400K, they felt like the $400K that he was going to initially get to Marshall Faulk, that Trei Oliver would have took that money and came to Southern and probably brought it damn near not his whole staff, but most of his staff with him. Whereas Marshall Faulk wanted extra $200K allegedly to make it $600K a year. And they feel like, hey, hiring Marshall Faulk is a splash hire. However, Trei Oliver's resume is more impressive. He's a championship winning coach. And in terms of Marshall Faulk, yeah, he's an NFL Hall of Famer. He's probably going to bring a lot of resources with him in terms of sponsorships and brand deals and that type of thing. He's going to bring a lot of eyes and attention. However, if he does not produce on the field, Jaguar Nation is going to turn against him and turn against him quickly, the same way they did Terrence Graves this season. So at the end of the day, I think Trei Oliver is more of a proven commodity. I think Marshall Faulk's ceiling is higher, but at the same token, his floor is lower also, because truthfully speaking, Trei Oliver is a proven commodity in HBCU football. He's won championships. I didn't think he was going to ever really leave North Carolina Central. But if you ask me, I'd be lying to y'all if I told y'all, hey, coach, for $400K, would you get Trei Oliver for $400K, or would you take Marshall Faulk for $500 or $600? I take Trei Oliver. Trei Oliver is more of a proven entity, a proven commodity, a championship coach. If you was to bring him to Southern, hey, he'll be at Southern for probably the next 15 years. Whereas Marshall Faulk, if and when he has success at Southern, it's just a stepping stone to a Power 5 PWI job or Power 4 PWI job. So at the end of the day, I can see why people prefer Trei Oliver over Marshall Faulk, but that's just a little pushback. I support the decision. Unless something happens and stuff goes sideways and I'm like, look, hey, it was a bad move. I don't see that happening, hopefully. But at the end of the day, I support the decision until things go left, but I don't see him going left. I'm hoping for the best. I'm gonna support the team regardless who the head coach, but I'm gonna support administration, hiring Marshall Faulk, and I just want things to work out because Southern can't go through another season like this season. In fact, I want a Pete Richardson 93 season. I need that type of season for next season to make up for this terrible season Southern had this year. Because I'm not gonna lie, this the worst Southern defense I've ever seen. In fact, this is the worst Southern football team I've ever seen. So stuff got to turn around and stuff got to change. So I'm gonna read these last comments because my nose going to run in again. It's crazy. Your boy Jay said the band might be at the press conference. They are supposedly going all out. Yeah, hopefully. I wouldn't mind seeing a human jukebox at the press conference. Joseph Davis said that Monday press conference should have twice the number of sports reporters. I hope so. Your boy Jay said it will be ESPN and supposedly be there. All right. He said ESPN supposedly will be there. All right. He said it's funny to see some of the fan base upset, but I've seen nothing but love from other schools and fan bases. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna just keep it a buck, your boy Jay. I don't care who you would have hired. I don't think you was gonna ever get 100% of Jaguar Nation to be content with the hire anyway. So you could have hired whoever, name whatever coach you want to name. 100% of Jaguar Nation was not gonna be content with it. I promise you that. Man, the nose gonna run like crazy. EAC, the APR issues are corrected, not by the coach, but the school fully investing in athletic compliance. Supposed to have 10 people for the 300 plus athletes. We have been employing 4. Crazy. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know FAMU have had some administrative issues in terms of, high turnover when it came to like athletic directors. Like those type of things affect your program, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna lie. I want Southern to beat FAMU on the field, but at the end of the day, like FAMU, SWAC family, HBCU family too. I don't want to see them going through APR issues. And I'm gonna just keep it a buck, EA. I feel like if FAMU struggling, then as far as I'm concerned, the whole SWAC struggling. And I don't want to see FAMU, fall on hard times with APR issues because, those APR issues hard to shake back from. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay say Faulk brings more resources and more attention, and Southern needs that badly. He was always my first choice and been my first choice since Odom's left. I'm not gonna lie, your boy Jay. I know you've been pounding that drum, for a minute now. So yeah, I can see your perspective on it. Your boy Jay said, I'll be honest, I hated that grades high, absolutely hated it, but I supported him until I didn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You sound like SeaWorld, that, salute to my brother SeaWorld at the SeaWorld's line. He said, I'm gonna support it till I don't. And I said this at the beginning of last season. I'm like, look, hey, Terrence Graves needs to get off to a great start because if he don't, it could go left and it could go left quickly. He turned it around, but he didn't turn it around this year. He said, I hope Jaguar Nation do the same. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna support him. I'm keeping it a buck. Man, hey, they could have hired Little Boy Blue, and I'm gonna support him too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. Nah, them saying, hey, we need a white head coach, that aggravated me. I'm not gonna lie. But even if they did hire a white coach, I'm still gonna support it. I wouldn't gonna be happy with the white coach, but I'm gonna support Southern regardless. You know what I'm saying? So, that's my perspective on it. If Southern would have went instead of 1-10, if they don't went 0-11, I'm still riding with them. That's my team, and I'm riding till the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of these fair weather fans. Like the Fairweather Saints fans. The Jags first on my list. He's gonna always be top. I graduated from Southern. I'm looking to go back to grad school at Southern in the fall. So Southern will always be number one. Then the Saints, then the Pelicans, then LSU if they're doing good. You know what I'm saying? Nathaniel Frank said, I just hope the recruiting is good for Southern. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's my two biggest concerns is the staff he puts together and then the recruiting. You can't just plug and play a bunch of transfer portal players and expect it to work out. Like you gotta hit the ground and you gotta, go places like Edna Carr. You get a dog or two for maybe get like a dog like Jade Miles from Catholic High. In full disclosure, I coach Jade Miles in basketball capital. So, if you go to, the Zachary's, maybe Bruley, and I don't want just Southern just to recruit. Don't get me wrong, I want Southern to recruit the I-10 corridor from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. I want to recruit the river parishes like Terrebonne and Lafourche and Assumption and Ascension and St. James, East St. John, West St. John. I want them to recruit the state. I want them to recruit the region. I want them to recruit nationally. But more than anything, I want dogs. I don't want players just because they went to certain schools. I want dogs from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you got to go to Duncanville. I don't care if you got to go to St. James. I don't care if you go to Zachary. I don't care where you go. I just want some dogs. You know what I'm saying? 5-star, first team all SWAC players. That's what I want. And I want a Celebration Bowl victory. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay said my only concern about Faulk was his staff, and apparently his staff is going to be crazy. I hope so, your boy Jay. But that ends this edition of the Tailgate Party. I appreciate everybody that came through, that showed love. I appreciate everybody that's going to sit back, relax, and enjoy this on Thanksgiving Day. I appreciate all of the subscribers to the fullest. If you've not done so already, please subscribe to the channel, like, share this live stream. Also, be certain to come through on Friday night, on Black Friday, with the latest edition of HBCU Fanatics. We're going to talk about, the Sunshine Classic. We're going to talk about our upcoming predictions for SWAC Championship game, Celebration Bowl. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. The Division II playoffs for the HBCU schools like Kentucky State. We're going to talk about all of this on HBCU Fanatics on Friday night on my brother channel, Jared 11 Green. So please be certain to come over to Jared 11 Green and rock with us. Also, a shout out to my brother Brent Fox. Go over to his channel where his show is just me starring Brent Fox. Also go to my brother channel. I was kicking it with him today, Growing with Soul. If you're interested in growing plants and gardens and that type of thing, go to his channel, check him out. Also go check out my brother Cadillac Red, Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. Go over to his channel and check him out. Go check out my beloved sister, the beloved Shawalaya. She changed the the name of her channel, the Yes Indeed Boxing. So go over to her channel, check her out. Again, her channel is Yes Indeed Boxing. And lastly, go to my brother 7A Sports TV on his channel. Go check him out. 2 channels, 7A Sports TV, his backup channel is the No 304 Show. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed and phenomenal Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of y'all. Happy Bayou Classic weekend. We need to finish this season strong. We need to get a win in the Classic on Saturday. So, Jaguar Nation, y'all go support the Jags. Jags go to 52nd Annual Bayou Classic, pull out this dub. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed and phenomenal evening. Happy Thanksgiving. And go Jags. You dig.